Right, boys and girls, we are back with a video. I am going to be dropping the sauce. So how are we printing in 2025 with dropshipping? So it's not the general way most people talk about general fashion dropshipping, spending like testing 5 products a day. This is not what we do. We are not looking for the short-term gains. We are looking for the long-term gains. Generally always ends up way better if you focus on an e-commerce brand. You can start with dropshipping. If you focus on that and put the time and effort in to build a long-term brand and build it with sustainability, you're going to get way more out of it, especially equity value. 2 years ago, I built and exited a store, scaled it for 3 years, netted like 1.2 mil, including with the exit. You can go back to my old videos if you want to see that. But last month on this new brand that we're building, you can see the net margins are 47% on the front end. So taking into account fixed cost, it's probably around 41 to 42% net margin, which is insane for an e-commerce brand at these numbers. So obviously it's not the highest revenue per month, but the margins are super healthy. Like this is what you want, building cash in the bank, reinvesting, and really building like a legit brand. Like this is really what you want to focus on. The reason of this title, it's easier than ever. AI, ChatGPT has just made it easier than ever. The AI tools to create ads has made it easier than ever. So you can literally do this with an IQ below 75, probably, maybe 80. But yeah, it's easier than ever. So I'm going to break everything down in this video. Also as well, I'm going to be showing you some AI prompts of how we are finding these untapped markets. So the reality is, to get margins like this, to actually be printing profits, not just revenue, you need to be choosing evergreen niches so you can build the long-term brand. But to enter it as easy as possible, you need to choose the sub niches. Okay. So for example of that, what is a sub niche of an evergreen niche? It would be choosing the niche of fashion and then starting with a store that specifically sells, for example, vintage styled or American biker styled garms. That would make you a specialist in that category, which means you are more likely to be profitable when you launch because you're not choosing a super competitive niche like women's gym clothes. ChatGPT can now find these. So I'll put the prompts. You can go in my description. If you want to book a call with us below, you can do that. But go in the description, free Discord. The prompts are in the info section or free value section. You'll see them linked there. So you can get all that. So how are we printing in 2025? Easier than ever, IQ lower than 80, you can do this. For the example of the video, we can do fashion, home products, etc. This is the prompt we have used, okay? So when we are using ChatGPT, you can essentially use ChatGPT as your product research specialist. So you are to take the role of my expert branded dropshipping product research specialist. They can find you the untapped market. So for this one, obviously what has worked for us time and time again when we're launching these stores is basically becoming a sub niche specialist in the evergreen market, which means longer term you can go more broad, but it means you become a trendsetter when you first launch. So you look like a specialist when you first launch. So key things for this, so we're basically setting ChatGPT to find competitors in the sub niche, because the best way stores are going to work is we don't want a market that's brand new. We want a market that's already working but not too saturated. So ChatGPT can find that using basically similar web. So I basically set the boundaries of 100 to 600k monthly visits on stores on similar web that are basically drop shipping, and it's going to find these things with AOV $40 to $200. So you can actually put this higher, but obviously in fashion you can, it's probably like 200, 250. If you were doing like home decor, you could actually put this to $500. It's basically a parameter of what you want the competitor's AOV to be. But obviously if you're doing home decor, you can do this higher because home decor can be pretty high ticket and you can still drop ship that, other goods like that. But for fashion, we'll keep it like that. One of my friends, for example, why I've put it higher, one of my friends' products are like $175 in the women's niche, and they're doing over $1 million a month, American brand. So clothes can be higher ticket as well, more than like $100. So like I really wouldn't worry about pricing. Sometimes even pricing your goods higher makes you more premium subjectively, which is actually sometimes good for branding, especially if your brand is like luxury. This is the prompt I use. It's in the description below in the Discord in the free value, so you can get it. So I put that in. These are the questions I asked. I done USA. These are the questions. Do you want all the example brands to be based in the USA? Yes. So the reason I want it to search mainly for the USA market, you could do this vice versa. So you could say, find only brands that are based in the UK and not selling to the USA. Then you could take it to the USA. But the reason I'm looking for USA brands is the USA is the #1 market to sell to. It's the least tax. There's no VAT, just sales tax, which ranges from like 3 to 7% per state. I could be wrong, it might be a bit more, maybe 5 to 7%. Should I prioritize niches that are seeing organic traffic, SEO, or those relying on paid ads? We want to do paid ads because paid ads is going to be the driving force of this brand. Do you have any preference between apparel, accessories? No, let's keep it fully open because we want to find these sub niches. So these are stores that ChatGPT has found, which is insane. So women's outdoor and activewear sub niche, which I think is actually pretty good. Men's high performance gym wear. This is not too much sub niche, but let's have a look. Modern modest fashion for young women, which is dope. That's actually quite a good one. I'll click on that later as well. Sun protective clothing. This is insane. That's a really good sub niche. So you become a specialist in that. And then when you're scaling 2 years down the line, you could do summer clothing. So become a specialist in sun protective clothing. Then you just dive into the summer market once you built that momentum and base. Women's workwear and trade outdoor jobs. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, this store's sick. So does anyone remember the brand Carhartt? So Carhartt is pretty known for its like workwear. So this is a sub niche for women. So you basically making sick clothes for the sub niche of workwear for women, but you could also do this as like fashionable items as well. Like overalls could be pretty cool, but this stuff is very cool. You can drop ship this sort of stuff. So for example, this is a drop shipping store. Well, they used to be, I'm not sure if they are now, they might still be. You order all the products in, you get your supplier. Sourcing your supplier is easier than ever. Fiverr and Upwork. Hire a product sourcing agent to find these manufacturers with your criteria. So I want the manufacturer to drop ship. I want the manufacturer to be able to source all these clothes. I want the manufacturer to have this cost price. I want the manufacturer to either drop ship the clothes themselves or we use a fulfillment center. What would be the lead time on basically selling these products like drop shipping? Usually with the USA, you can get 8 to 10 days drop shipping from China now, even still with the tariffs. Tariffs haven't really put the prices up that much, so it's not even an issue now. Order all the products in and get organic content. So you can shoot all these with a cameraman or yourself, even with an iPhone. They've just got a simple backdrop. Or you put the products in and you use ChatGPT or this AI generator to create the product images, or vice versa. You send them to an e-com product photographer who can shoot them. That's it. But AI actually does it now. So I'll show you how to do that as well. But this is basically what we want to do. So let's say, for example, ChatGPT has found us this untapped market. So let's have a look. What is the saturation level? So saturation is 4 out of 10. I would say this is pretty fine. The competitor has got 100,000+ visits per month, which is actually not that much, which means this isn't heavily saturated, which means the competitor is not scaling that hard, but they're profitable. They're probably doing, we can assume this is making $1 to $2 per visit. So let's be on the negative side and assume this is making $100,000 per month, which is decent, which means there's an indicator to a market. Now we can take that and scale it up and turn it into an actual, the niche is workwear, but we can turn it into a fashion brand. This is very recreatable, like it's not even crazy. What we could do as well, so let's say this was the one we could do, we could then do another deep research using basically the deep research tool, run deep research. Say, I have chosen this sub niche. Can you please find all the competitors in the USA, UK and Germany that are running within this niche? You get all the competitors' data, which means we can use Magic AI to find all the competitors' ads. So this is gonna search the meta ad library and basically look at all their ads as well, which is pretty good. Once you have got ChatGPT to find all the competitors, you can go through all the competitors' Facebook ad libraries and basically seeing what they're doing. The next step, listen to me on this. So the pillars of e-com are product, ads, offer, and branding. So look at all the competitors and see what they're doing for products, offer, branding, and ads, and think, okay, is there a gap we can squeeze into that people aren't doing? So I honestly think one way to sell this, like let's say we're going into niche, would be turning it into a fashionable workwear. That would be so cool. Then it makes it more broader as well. So you niche with the branding, but then turn it fashionable, like give it to all the influencers and stuff as well. Obviously, we're going to build the store on Shopify. We've used ChatGPT to find all the competitors in the niche. I'm going to take this now and we can make ads. So once we built the store, we can create AI ads with Winning Hunter. We can launch these while ordering the products in to get authentic content to just film on your iPhone, send it to creators. So we're launching to get proof of concept straight away with Facebook ads. So you can start an initial test with just AI image creative. So I'm going to use Magic AI now. Why this is so good as well, you can put your product page link so it gets all the data. This AI generator on Winning Hunter is going to generate you ads. When you are launching a store, use ChatGPT, use AI generator and Winning Hunter. You don't want to put too much money on it. This will give you proof of concept. Let's say we're break even in the first 2 weeks while we're ordering the products in. That will give us the go ahead to basically start sending this to creators and all that, to basically, all right, we can turn this into a brand. We know it's an evergreen niche. We know there's competitors working. So why can't we put the time into it to make it a successful brand? While that's generating, for example, this results here was not the case on this brand at the start of the brand. So if we go back October, we were unprofitable. So we put time and effort into this brand to scale it up. That's what I'm saying. So you launch the brand with AI creatives, which are super cheap, get proof of concept. If you are break even in the USA in an evergreen niche and you have the vision to build it long term, Being break even in month 1 is not a bad thing. Look at this. This was like month 4 or month 3 of this brand, minus 17% net margin. And then last month, 47% net margin on the front end. This is why building a brand long-term and focusing on it long-term is key. A lot of you people who are testing these products, spending like £50 or $50, testing 5 products a day, you're missing out on real gains. I ran this store unprofitable for like 4 or 5 months, and now look at it. So this is why focusing on a real long-term brand is the key. It really is the key. So this is how you print with dropshipping in 2025. Like, I'm pretty certain on that. Sweet. So Winning Hunter, obviously it's taking the product info, and bam, all these ads are done. And obviously you can keep making, this is only 4. Obviously you can do as many as possible. I would launch with Facebook ads, $50 CBO. If we go here, so usually what I do, so I would create a CBO on Facebook ads, literally set this, obviously we're spending a bit more at the moment, but this is different. I would set $50 per day on this. And then I would launch 1, 2, 3. I would launch 3 ad sets. In each ad set, 5 image ads. So 15 image ads in total, 3 concepts. So do 3 different concepts. A concept, for example, could be this. Let's just say, for example, this is a before and after. This would be a concept. So do 5 variations of before and after with this product, run it to the product page. What we're gonna do as well with this brand, once the proof of concept is there, then you begin to scale, send the products to more influencers, create more authentic content, and you can start getting video ads as well. Scaling up, Facebook ads, Google ads, Pinterest ads, try TikTok ads. That is the process. Always implement email marketing. So ChatGPT to find a product, Winning Hunter, AI ads to produce the ads to test the concept. If the concept works, go on to bring all the ads in. You can also use AI to create the product image ads and the website image ads as well. Everyone's gonna look high quality. Guys, good video. If you wanna work with us, you can book a call below. Peace and love.